ways to do it, and I'll teach you.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, everyone. It's 6
Morning,
a.m.
everyone.
On the 23rd of March. Please let us know where you're watching from. And also put in the chat, hashtag KMT for a chance to win.
The exact hat on Dr. Kiltz's head.
I'm in.
Says Kiltz Health.
I have a black version of that.
You do?
Oh, let's see that one.
Where is it?
You gave it to me in the last time we were in South Carolina with yellow letters.
Ooh, that looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, please put your questions in the chat as we speak to Andrea in a second here. And so today we have Andrea, who's the founder of the Menopause Revival. After 5 years of suffering through a menopause experience that mainstream medicine couldn't solve, Andrea took her health into her own hands by diving deep into metabolic science and embracing ancestral human nutrition. She went from a life in decline to feeling absolutely ageless. As you can see, she is ageless. She's now a strict carnivore and a creator of a 4-phase healing protocol that is changing lives. Let's dive into Menopause Revival today. How are you doing, Andrea? Welcome to...
I'm very well. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Where are you at in this world?
I now live in Lincoln in the UK. So that's kind of like East Midlands area. I'm from London originally, but moved up here about a year ago.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell us how you got into this crazy carnivore world and focusing on menopause.
I came in kicking and screaming because I remember some of my friends online beginning the carnivore, and I remember thinking, that's extreme. That's just too much.
These people are crazy.
Pardon?
I said these people are crazy.
Get totally crazy and incredibly well and healthy now as well. My health wasn't good at all. I had suffered menopause horrendously. And, you know, it's fair to say that I felt like my life was trickling away. I could feel myself deteriorating. I even had a conversation with a very close girlfriend, asked her to be there for my children because I could feel, you know, my health was just going. My gynecologist had said to me that I was an urgent case. I had postmenopausal bleeding, I had uterine thickening, I had fibroids, absolutely terrified me. But one day he said something. He was giving me the reasons why they needed to perform a hysteroscopy. And I noted it all down. And I went away and I studied it. And I found that what he had told me was actually outdated. The measurement of the uterine thickening, you know, nowadays they suggest that it needs to be a bit thicker before they go in with such a invasive, you know, procedure. So I took this information back to him and he coughed and spluttered because he wasn't expecting me to come back with any sort of questions, not on this line. And he said, well, this is just how we treat all women nowadays, as though it was routine. And that was really alarming for me.
What can I, because you used the word menopause.
Yeah.
Okay, so without the word menopause,
yeah,
what symptoms were you experiencing?
Okay.
Because that's one of our biggest problems.
Yeah.
We give a label to some disease.
Yeah.
But maybe there is no disease, menopause.
Correct. Yes.
Maybe there are symptoms we all have, men and women.
Yeah.
And we give it to a label. So
love it. Yeah.
Could you kind of explain suffering you were going through?
Yeah, absolutely. So my suffering began overnight. One day I was fine. The next day, everything fell apart. Please apologize. I apologize now. I've got the red arrows above my house. They should go down soon. Okay, so if you can hear aeroplanes, that's what's going on. I had hair fall. I had skin like a lizard skin on my face. I had hot flashes. I couldn't sleep. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the noise. I live on an RAF base.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
It should pass in a second.
Keep going. That's okay.
Yeah. I had hot flashes. I wasn't able to sleep. I had brain fog that just literally hit me overnight. The anxiety that I was suffering, I couldn't move out of my bed for days. I would just be curled up in a ball. I'd managed to get myself up, get myself washed, brush my teeth, and then the doom, the fear that would fill my body. Now, I suffered with anxiety all of my life, which I now understand came from the nutrition side of things.
Okay, so you had, because you said everything was sort of perfect and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
But was it really perfect?
No, of course not. It was a level of normal that I had normalized that wasn't normal. Yeah. But obviously today, with how I am today and my health is today, I can look back on my life now and see that I was just a metabolic dysfunctional mess for all of my life, since childhood, in fact. But I had every single symptom. One day I was my regular level of normal, if you like. And then the next day it was as though somebody had just taken the rug from underneath me. Gone. Completely gone. Everything. I couldn't go anywhere without getting a hot flash. I couldn't think about anything that was slightly taxing without getting a hot flash. It was as though there was just nothing left. And I tried to do it the natural way, natural being black cohosh, natural being red clover and all the good stuff. And I was plant-based at the time. In fact, I was actually vegan at the time. I know, right? And I was convinced that I could do this through vegetables. I was convinced I could do it through plants. And taking herbal supplements. But 6 months in, my birthday was looming and there was just no way I could cope. I just couldn't do it. So it was my birthday and I called the doctor and I said, I think I'm going through the menopause. And she did the blood test and I'd actually crashed straight through. I was postmenopausal. I can't remember what my FSH level was, but according to them, I was postmenopausal. And that's when my HRT journey began, because I just couldn't cope. I couldn't sleep. I was lucky to get 2 hours in 24 and I just couldn't cope. Just could not. Everything was shutting down. And the saddest thing was, as my son he was recently made disabled before this, 2 years previous. So he was in recovery and it was just me and him. I needed to get my life back on track. So then the next 5 years was, of course, the normal cycling of taking HRT, and it works for a period of time. And then the symptoms just like burn through. It was quite interesting, though, because when I began the HRT, my periods came back. I started cycling again. And I thought this was a good thing. I was in my element. It was like I had been given another chance of being a young woman again. My cycle had come back. It was mimicking my old cycle. So every 20 odd days I'd get my cycle and it would be exactly the same. So I'd have a light month and then a heavier month and then a light month, and it was exactly as it always was. So I had no reason to believe that there was any problem there. And then 6 months into HRT, the symptoms would start to come back and the periods would stop again. So I'd go back to the doctors, and I was in this massive cycle where I just went up and up and up in higher doses of HRT until they got to a point where they weren't prepared to put me up any higher. I was on 100 micrograms of estradiol 200 milligrams of progesterone. And at that point, they said, no more. We're not putting you on anymore. We need to think about an antidepressant now.
Oh, wow.
Which, yeah, I didn't want to do that. I have a history with depression and anxiety, again, which I now know is metabolic dysfunction. But I didn't have a choice because, like I said, I was curled up in a ball. I couldn't move through the fear that was going through my body. I couldn't even get myself to the kitchen without being a nervous wreck to make food. It was awful. So I began on a low dose of mirtazapine to help, and that did help for a while. And then the symptoms start to burn through that as well. And then I remember reading online about testosterone and listening online, about testosterone. So I was like, this is it. This has got to be it. This is the missing piece. I need to go and I need to find this testosterone in the UK. That's not something that your doctors can give you. It's got to be prescribed by a gynecologist because they're not licensed in the UK to give that out. And so I went through the long process in the UK of finally getting my gynecologist who sat me down, started asking me all the questions. And when I told him that I had been bleeding and, I've been having my cycle, so everything's really good, he threw the pen down and said, this is not how it should be. This is an urgent case. We need to get you in immediately. We're going to do this, hysteroscopy. We're going to put the Mirena coil in. It was just bombarded. I was only there for some testosterone. I had a mental breakdown in that office immediately because my nervous system was not expecting to hear that I was an urgent case. My nervous system was expecting to hear, yes, Andrea, you can have some testosterone. Let's see how you get on with that. So to be told I was an urgent case, and he had to bring in the nurse to calm me down. And that was the beginning of my gynecology kind of story. And as I said, it wasn't too much longer that I started to be a bit curious with the way I was being treated. So I went away, and being the researcher I am, I found loads of peer-reviewed papers online that actually told me that what he was telling me wasn't true. I didn't need to have a hysteroscopy in this moment. And I needed to understand more about what was going on with me. But that's the thing. The deeper I went into my studies, the more I found everything we are told about menopause isn't true. And everything we're told about our diet isn't true either. And then when you put the two together, what we realize is menopausal women, they're not suffering with the menopause. They're suffering with the fact that they're metabolic dysfunctional. They are they're in metabolic crisis. They're exhausted.
Could it be inflammation?
Mm.
We in the keto carnivore world have it wrong too.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your metabolism.
Okay.
We're basically inflamed and poisoned.
Yeah.
Which damages our organ systems and our cells in our body. And we've just got the wrong term.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I don't profess to be I don't say that I've got this all right. I'm digging.
I don't either, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing because, well, we all have different thoughts and ideas, but you're right. So one is there's no such thing as menopause.
Yeah.
It's actually the technical for menopause is you stop having irregular menstrual periods. That's it.
Yeah.
All these other symptoms are inflammatory symptoms to something that often show up around this time of menopause.
Yeah.
It's kind of stripping away something that kind of reduced some of the inflammation, maybe.
Yeah.
But it actually, it's sort of through gasoline at the fire that caused all of our increasing symptoms. But we've been collectively using this phrases and mindset that maybe it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, menopause, like you say, it's something very, very natural. We're not supposed to be, you know, Mother Nature didn't design us to completely fall apart the moment our sex hormones start to decline. That's nonsense, utter nonsense. We, you know, if that was the case, our evolution as a human race would look completely different to what it does today, you know? So, yeah, I mean, what I found is the well, we'll call it metabolic dysfunction because I don't know any other way to articulate it, but metabolic dysfunction in women especially. Sorry, Dr. Kiltz, you wanted to say something there? Yeah, keep going. Especially in women has been, you know, due to diet, due to what we've been eating, due to, you know, I work with ladies who have, you know, like me, I was the junk food queen, and then I cleaned everything up and went plant-based because I thought that was the right thing to do. I suffered horrendously. I've got ladies who have eaten, you know, high carbohydrate diet, but vegetables, fruits, whole grains, everything that we're told that we should be eating, in the same position as the ladies who have been eating the McDonald's and the KFC for the, you know, most of their life. This is, you know, I don't know what to say to these ladies because they're like, I've eaten so healthy, and I'm like, that's not healthy. It's not, you know, the high carbohydrate diet hasn't been providing us what we have been needing.
So you said that you were a vegan before, as you started going through these symptoms, but now you're a strict carnivore. So why is carnivore the secret weapon for hormonal health?
Oh, because it provides everything that, firstly, the nervous system needs. For a lot of us ladies, we have been going through life, we've been pushing, we've been doing, we've been competing, we've been, you know, it's not been easy. And our nervous systems are absolutely wrecked. The nervous system needs the amino acids, it needs the fats, it needs the cholesterol. The body needs those basic nutrients to function correctly. And whilst we've got the estrogen and we've got the progesterone that's buffering our system, you can pretty much eat what you like and get away with it. But when those hormones decline, when they recede, you're on your own. And if your system is not strong enough, if your nervous system is not strong enough, if you don't have those nutrients within your body, you will start to fade. And that is what we're seeing.
Go ahead.
So there's some toxin that's been introduced to our bodies through our recommended lifestyle diets, because more and more people are suffering for many, many years, probably thousands of years. And we use the word carbohydrate. Are carbohydrates the culprit?
Oh, now that's not my territory, Dr. Kiltz. You're going to have to.
But what? I'm not asking you. What is our general thinking in all of this? Carbohydrates are the cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But carbohydrates aren't the cause.
Oh, are they not?
Plants and protein are.
Whoa. Okay. Plants and protein are the cause.
Are the problem.
Okay.
And no animal fat diet.
Yeah, that's the animal fat part. That's crucial. But where's the protein in this? Tell me more.
Well, how do proteins metabolize? And have you ever heard of protein poisoning?
Yeah. Rabbit poisoning, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is a high protein diet helpful for you?
Oh, okay. Well, all I can say to that is that it's turned my health around, and the ladies that I'm, coaching.
Okay. Well, when you use the word protein, do you really mean meat?
Yeah.
Okay, so meat and plants both contain proteins, sugars, and fats.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So you don't eat protein, you eat animal cells or plant cells.
Okay, now we're in a different territory, right? Okay.
Occam's razor, there's a simple answer to this entire story.
Yeah.
A plant protein, low animal fat diet is not a healthy diet for humans.
Say that again. A plant protein.
A plant, let's just use the word plant,
Yeah.
protein,
Yeah.
separate terms,
Right. Okay.
low to no animal fat
Yeah.
is not a healthy diet for humans.
True. Yeah.
And nobody eats protein. They eat
Mm.
animals,
Yeah.
animal or plants, which all contain protein, sugar,
Right. Right. Yeah.
fats. And what do plants contain that animals do not?
What do plants contain that animals do not? Okay, go on.
Fiber,
Yeah.
chemicals,
Yeah.
lectins, oxalates, phytates,
Goitrogens. Yeah. Yeah.
and they contain the microbes. Bacteria, yeast, and viruses are embedded in the plant, on the plant. You cannot wash them out.
Yeah.
And so they're highly fermentable. They contain fiber. Is fiber easily digested by
No.
the human body?
No, we don't digest it. Yeah. Right.
Right? And how many women, men have bloating?
Oh, it's yeah.
And what
Look
is
what they're telling menopausal women to eat. Eat fiber.
so okay, so you're right about your doctor. Your doctor is like he, like me, doctors are trained to identify symptoms,
Yeah.
give it a diagnostic code like menopause, and do the diagnostic procedures to make sure it's not cancer, to get rid of polyps and fibroids potentially, and then treat you with the drug.
Yeah.
Not their fault. It's the system's methodology to give us. We went into Western medicine, not ancient or herbal medicine, right? Or more. What am I thinking, Dr. Nelson? Help Kiltz out with more integrative medicine, right? Acupuncture, massage, meditation, prayer, chiropractic, so many other things that we could do that we don't do. And who amongst us in any field of healthcare knows anything about nutrition?
No, nothing.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody. And ultimately, even us in the carnivore world, we're still sort of trying to figure it out, aren't we? I don't know the answer. Our good friend Amy, raw vegan during menopause, had no negative symptoms. Been off sugar, grains, and seed oils for many years. So, but again, it's like my grandmother smoked and drank and lived 104. Do we recommend those things? No.
No.
Right? And so inflammation, secondary to plant sugars, lectins, oxalates, phytates, and more, estrogen, progesterone, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, which are the plant chemicals, goitrogens, and then the fermentation of the plants in the gut, which makes alcohol, heat, gas, methane, and it's sort of like, why do some people drink alcohol and become like alcoholics, and other people just like they're fine?
Yeah.
That's the mystery, isn't it?
It is the mystery. It is. Yes.
The mystery.
If you have any questions for Andrea, please put them in the chat. I think we had one question about what the topic was, so I don't know.
Menopause.
We've
been talking about menopause in case you didn't get it.
Well, I think this is a good point. Menopause, it's men and women both go through transitional changes as we age. And so there's a reduction in estrogen, progesterone, but there's also reductions in testosterone for men. we're missing the point. It's not gender specific, these problems, because they're related to, as we age, our organ systems like the testicles or the ovaries begin to wax and wane. The inflammation we're exposed to hits us more, and it can happen at any time of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Dr. Kiltz, Andrew says he wants to help his sister with menopause, especially the hot flashes. What should he do? What should he do to help her?
Oh, Andrea.
Yeah, that's going to come down to nervous system.
This is Andrea's day.
Yeah.
So what's the name of your podcast and what you're working on, your community?
The Menopause Revival.
All right.
Yeah.
Menopause.
Yeah.
Again, for men and women, all of us are suffering.
Yeah.
That's the point here. We're so gender specific. What if, in fact, it was for all of us?
Yeah.
What if? What if?
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm going to go get myself some beans.
Just want to answer the hot flashes. Hot flashes generally come down to a lot of nervous system dysregulation. Like I said, us women have been battling in a man's world, if you will, and women have been pushing through, disconnecting from themselves, from their feelings, from their own needs, putting family first, putting everything first before their own needs. And with that, there's been a lot of anxiety. When we couple this with a poor sort of, nutrient dense diet, just, a high carbohydrate diet, what we have is a nervous system that is just not settling. It's just
high plant-based diet.
High plant-based diet.
We must change the paradigm.
Right,
because
okay.
It's not carbohydrates, it's plants.
It's plants. Okay. I will learn this. I will. Okay. The high plant-based diet isn't nutrient dense enough for the body. So the body's just believing it's in a survival state all the time. If we look through history, plants were used as a survival food. They're not the nutrient dense food. So the nervous system is constantly in this state of unrest, if you will, or the sympathetic state, fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So with hot flashes, what we find is when we start to feed the body what it naturally needs, I use a gate process. So gate 1 is the nutrition. Gate 2 is nervous system dysregulation. I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist. So I've developed something called the SAFER method, which is to reteach the woman or the man, how to create a new feedback loop to the nervous system to offer safety. So a lot of women, we live in our heads, we're trying to distract ourselves, and we feel this sense of fear of being in the body, being present in the body. So the SAFER method, which I've developed, is really helping women with nervous system dysregulation really start to calm down. But like I said, I think the first gate is definitely nutrition. Definitely the meat-based diet offers that nutrition. I'm getting it, Dr. Kiltz. I'm getting it.
Well, but what if plants have all the nutrients like meat, but plants contain the poisons, the goitrogens, and they're fermentable more than meat is? And so again, let's align ourselves with a truth. The truth is simple. You can be on a plant-based diet and you can do well. But
I'd have to say that can't be the case, because that's where I was at.
Well, let me finish the statement. There are many people that do a plant-based diet and they do fine. It's kind of like smoking or heroin or cocaine or marijuana, right? Some people do fine, don't have symptoms. Some people get sick and die rapidly, and some people just get sick and get other drugs.
Yeah.
And so the whole sort of mythology here is plants don't have the nutrients. They do, but they also have lots of anti-nutrients.
Yeah.
And they have poisons, and they're fermentable, and the fiber, and ultimately meat doesn't have the poisons doesn't have the fiber. But if it's a protein centric, if it's a low animal fat centric carnivore diet, is that good for us? Is not. And so how are you finding women? And maybe I'm going to suggest that men fall into the same problem, but we're gender centric and not globally human centric in our way. And maybe it's really is we have to be more simple, fatty meat, rare to raw, right? Versus plants. But there's some plants maybe that are less toxic and less of a problem for some people and not for others.
When I come across that argument, what I see, and from my studies, I found that nervous system dysregulation and detox, a more robust detox, women who tend to have had less stress seem to be able to deal with a more heavier plant-based diet. But does that mean that they're thriving? I can't answer that question, because the way I see it is we're not going to know how much more there is of that woman to come back alive until we put her on the meat-based diet and see. Then we can have a look and say, well, the meat base is obviously more dense nutrition. She's had much more improvement. She's got more energy. She's sleeping heavier. She's much calmer, more grounded. Then we have that example.
So I feel fine in my plant-based diet. I don't need to change.
Yeah, exactly. Don't change then.
but maybe I don't really know how good good is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what we were saying about in the beginning about my menopause. Well, what was you like previous? No, I'd normalized a level of suffering.
I'm going to put my men on pause. But ultimately, we don't know how good we can feel when you go carnivore.
Yeah.
Is I don't know what's happening in England. And what time of day is it, by the way?
It is 10:32 morning.
And so the jets are on there. Are they generally flying at 2 a.m. for your time?
No.
Yeah. Someone was worried about your sleep, and my sense is time zones. Oh my gosh, what was my Dr. Nelson always would put me on track here.
We were talking about whether knowing that normalizing your level of normalness and whether you're better off on a carnivore.
Oh no, I know. In England, is marijuana pushed as much as they are doing in America?
No.
Is marijuana good for humans?
I can't answer that question.
Do you recommend marijuana for everyone?
No, I don't recommend marijuana.
Okay. So would you give it to your children?
No, but if
would
my
you
children...
give it to those pilots flying those planes?
No, God, no. Have you seen these
Is marijuana or alcohol or any mind-altering drug good for us? No, it's bad for us. Let's be right.
Yeah.
Where does marijuana, heroin come?
Sorry, people have been using it, as medication for years. I don't know the history on it, so I can't answer that question. Some people would say yes, some people would say no. So I don't know enough about it, but yeah.
How about heroin?
What's that?
Good for you?
I don't believe so, but I don't know.
Well, it was like we wouldn't give it to our children or the pilot flying those planes, would we?
No.
And so why are we is alcohol good for us?
No.
But do we have it sometimes but we got to be careful.
No.
I cannot drink if I'm going to fly in 12 hours or so, but I wouldn't drink and fly in 24 hours.
No, I wouldn't.
And if I do drink in small amounts infrequently, anyway.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about how you approach those women that are symptomatic with the things that we call menopausal symptoms, which are inflammatory in nature anyway.
Yeah. okay, well, I don't necessarily approach them. They approach me, which is
Well, you're putting
easier.
your message out
Oh,
there,
I am. That's right.
right?
Yeah. And I get a lot of stick for it. I get a lot of comeback,
Oh,
and I
wow.
get a lot of women protecting the menopause narrative. And that's fine. I understand. I would have done exactly the same thing once upon a time. So I developed through all my studies something called, it's just a plan on a scrap of paper at first, but it was called the Wild Way. And I didn't know too much about carnivore or keto. In fact, it was only recently that I learned about, keto and what that actually meant. I kind of presumed that the first phase of the Wild Way was something keto based, but I didn't realize that keto was more high fat and low protein, which it's not. And so I developed a 4-phase healing menu, and that was just for me. That was just something that I was going to do for myself, and it worked so rapidly. Like every symptom week on week was dropping by. And so I shared it with my friends and my family. Same happened for them. And they said, Andrea, you need to get this out to the world. You need to get this to every menopausal woman. And that's what I'm doing. And so it is a community that I've built online. We've got something called the Wild Way, which has now been developed into a course. It's not just the healing phases of the processes that we do, which is essentially, you could call it keto, phase 1. You could call it carnivore, phase 2. You could call it lion diet, phase 3. And then phase 4 would be back to metabolic flexibility. So you can reintroduce some carbohydrates if you so choose. There's no carbohydrate plant. There's no plant police in the community. Everybody, each their own. If you just want to do phase 1, you do phase 1. That's absolutely fine. But we talk about everything in there, from circadian rhythm to nervous system regulation. Like I said, I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist. So there's meditation in there. There's breath work in there. There's everything in there to support women coming back to life again. Because women, and I mean, one of the most wonderful things that I get to hear, and it gives me chills every time I hear it, because it's what I felt when I felt my life return. It's like I felt like I had a second chance at life. So when I hear another woman she messages me and says, Andrea, I can't thank you enough, I literally feel like I've got another second chance at life. I get tingles. I get chills.
We have a question from Miss Laugh a Lot, and I want to get clear, because I still don't have clear whether you are recommending HRT or not. And her question is, what brand of bioidentical hormones do you recommend?
Yeah, well, I'm not medical. I'm just a menopause coach. So it's not about me recommending. I support women on HRT, and I support women coming off HRT. Do I still take some HRT? At the moment, yes, I do, because nervous system dysregulation is still something I'm plagued with. I had a very, very traumatic early part of life, but my level of HRT through the Wild Way, through eating carnivore, has dramatically reduced. So I'm not about recommending, but yes, if you're going to take a hormone, let it be bioidentical. What's that?
What is this, Dr. Nelson?
Bean juice.
Bean juice. Is this a drug? Okay. Is it possibly helping my menopause?
What's this? Coffee. Bean juice is coffee.
Bean juice is coffee. Okay, so are we consuming drugs all the time? Sure we are, right? Are supplements drugs, essentially? Sure they are. Is it okay to take a hormone replacement in some way, whether it's bioidentical or not, right? There's lots of different ways to skin this cat. It's not wrong. It's just different ways to do it. Maybe there are probably some medicinal herbal remedies to all of this also.
I've not found them, but yeah.
But we're also not herbalists, and I mean, where do bioidentical hormones come from?
Plants.
Plants, right? I mean, where did the birth control pill and abortion pill first come from?
Plants.
Right?
Mhm.
And so where does this come from?
Bean juice.
Which comes from
A plant.
a plant. Man, this is damn so simple. This is
I don't
so-
drink that stuff. That's no good for menopausal women.
well, not necessarily so. We label it through our mind. Is tea a plant product?
Yeah, I won't have that either. I don't drink
Okay,
that.
so but you do take a hormone.
I do, yeah. If
Right,
I
okay. So I choose not to take that, but I was off coffee for 2.5 years. I was fine.
yeah.
And so can you eat plants and be healthy?
I can't say yes. I can't no.
Well, there are plenty of healthy people that eat plants.
Yeah, there are. It's absolutely correct. Can I eat plants and be healthy? Plants terrify me now.
Well, that's right. They terrify you, so
Yeah.
your mindset is already afraid of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, when we eat an animal, are there plant antigens and chemicals likely in that muscle meat we eat? Yes.
Yeah.
Now they're very different because no matter what you eat or breathe or drink, there's some antigens and chemicals from everything. But I think I always say mindset is master set.
Yeah, I agree.
Where do you
with that.
put spirit and mindset and faith or whatever you utilize in helping your clients heal?
Mm.
Do you use those things in your practice, mindset, spirituality, or
Mindset, absolutely, yeah.
is mindset spirituality, faith in a power because you're using your mind to create it?
You could say that. Some people might interpret it in that way, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What other
Yeah.
does anyone have any comments here that I'm wrong? And I'm always open to I'm wrong. I kind of I'll be quiet, Nellie.
Did
Nellie,
she
right?
hear you?
She's mad at me. I am been kicked out of the house.
Oops. We do have a question though. Meet Mel in Hawaii. I've heard that if you're 10 years or more postmenopausal, it's too late to start HRT. Thoughts?
Meet
I
me in
would-
Hawaii.
Meet
I
me in
wouldn't I wouldn't
meet
say
Mel in
so.
Hawaii. Oh, meet me in Hawaii. Okay, got it.
the way we deal with things here is that we look at rebuilding that metabolic foundation, and from that we do that through a process of a meat diet and fat diet. And if after, well, I would say if you've done 10 years postmenopausal, would it not be, how bad are those symptoms now? Is it something I'd want to ask the questions, is it progressing? Has it got progressively worse? Because to do 10 years, I can barely do 10 minutes. The symptoms were that heavy.
What's your regimen for hormone replacement?
What my own personal, what am I taking?
When you
Okay,
are,
so
and
yeah.
what is it exactly?
Okay, sure. I take I'm on probably around 17, 18 micrograms of estradiol now, and I take that in a patch, Everel patch, and that's come down from 100 micrograms. And I'm still on 200 milligrams of progesterone, which is utrogestan, and I still have a small amount of testosterone.
Where does it come from? Where do these substances come? You know how they're made or where they're produced?
In terms, you mean the actual chemical, like how is it created?
Yeah. Is it a pharmaceutical grade or is
it pharmaceutical? Yeah.
Are they injections or
no, patch and tablets?
Are there other regimens that people take that have? And I'm a reproductive endocrinologist and fertility specialist, OBGYN. I actually stay away from menopause because I help people get pregnant and make babies. We use hormones to help people get pregnant, have babies.
Yeah.
But I kind of stay away from it. I was always ran from menopause.
Don't blame you. We're crazy women.
I get to my lane, and that's kind of my methodology. But are there different regimens that you found in your clients, and maybe Dr. Nelson? We're gonna have to do a master class on this one in the KMT and the coaching course class, and maybe we get Andrea to be part of that.
I'd love to. Yeah. So what was the question, Dr. Kiltz?
Oh, other formulations.
Other protocols that work.
Oh, that's not really my bag, because we're focusing on rebuilding that metabolic health underneath all of that. So women might come to me with different, they're on different levels or taking different types, whether it be a patch or a gel or whatever that might be. But I don't really concern myself with the medical side of things, because I'm not medically trained. I'm a menopause coach focusing on metabolic health.
Are doctors medically trained?
Oh, Dr. Kiltz,
we're propaganda trained, right?
Oh, they're bandits. That's what they are.
So ultimately, I mean, nowadays, where do you go for any medical advice?
I've got my first doctor's appointment coming up on the 30th of March, and I don't really know how I feel about this, because I'm going to be faced with a doctor that I'm fully aware knows less than what I do, but I don't have the credential to.
Do you know this doctor?
No, first time
But
meeting.
do you know this doctor doesn't know as much or more than you?
After the call that I had, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But aren't we ultimately, because see how I'm imagining, again, I'm just giving this crazy mindset. I'm going to the most amazing, smartest, open-minded doctor ever created in the world.
Yeah, no, I love
Why
that.
would you go to anyone else?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
As we think, so is he or she.
Yeah.
Right. And that's that mindset masturbation. I've been, oh my God, I turned 70 and I went crazy.
You're allowed to now.
I was kicked out of the house. I am now homeless.
What? You're homeless?
Hold on.
We have a question.
Do we really need fiber to be healthy?
What do you think, Andrea?
No, not at all. I can't see what you're putting up there, Dr. Kiltz. I can't read it.
It says the glycocalyx an essential barrier. And it talks about the glycocalyx.
Okay.
Which is inside of all of our organ systems, right? And every cell,
every membrane, every cell, every membrane, not just the outer membrane, of every cell contains sugars, proteins, and fats.
Yeah.
Where does the glycocalyx fall in the mechanism of menopausal symptoms, do we think?
Oh, you'll have to enlighten me on that one. Go for it.
Well, the glycocalyx is the master barcode, receptor, receiver, and transmitter of all messages in every cell of our body, every cell of every microbe, every cell of every macrobe. Is it likely that ultimately we've damaged the glycocalyx and that's all it is?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Because ultimately, is there not there's a neurotransmitter, a receiver and transmitter that causes the input-output of all of our cellular function. And ultimately, this is our real challenge and problem.
I like that, yeah.
And so if we torch all the plants on Earth or in the jungles, we just go, we massively cut down all the forests of the Amazon, or through Vietnam, we torched them with Agent Orange. and we remove all the plants, what does that do for the soil and the environment?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if there's a plant sugar environment on every cell, every membrane, and we torch it, we turn off the normal function of that cellular mechanisms. And that's all it is.
You
Is
know
that
better than me.
Is that,
sounds logical.
and so are sugars critical for the function of every cell of our body?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they energy direct producers, or are they message makers? They're not energy. They're structure and messengers. And we've given sugars the wrong function. And in actuality, they're the most important of all the molecules in the human body. But we don't understand it. That's my crazy theory. Dr. Nelson and I are still working on this, the next book, the next white paper that will change the universe. Any other questions, Ali, Dr. Nelson?
Yes, there are more
Andrea?
questions and comments.
Let's see.
Let's take them quickly.
I took this random one. No symptoms anymore on the menopause, but was told estrogen and progesterone help heart and bone health. Is that true?
Well, according to Endocrinology, we produce, or the heart, the brain, the bones, the tissue, creates its own estradiol within itself, something that the menopause model has completely, the modern menopause model has completely left out. In 1966, when Dr. Robert A. Wilson, he's the doctor who was in sorry, I keep watching Dr. Kiltz do his exercises. And he and Wyeth, the manufacturer of Premarin, sort of came together and created the menopause model that we know today. But a good 20 years later, Endocrinology came and saw that we actually do produce enough estrogen to see us through into old age in the tissues that we are told that suffer the most. But what we do see is women who take HRT, they still suffer osteoporosis. They still suffer cardiovascular, neurological, and all the diseases we are told by doctors that HRT is going to stop us from getting, but it's not strictly true. Women still do suffer. And as I said, the biggest part that's missed out in modern medicine, menopause narrative is how endocrinology works. And the only thing that seems to stand, as far as I can see, Dr. Kiltz probably, has a better understanding than me, I'm sure. But it's the metabolic dysfunction, that stands in the way of us being able to utilize that hormone within, the heart, brain, bones, etc.
Do the adrenals produce hormones?
Yeah.
And
well, as far as my studies have told me, yes.
Well,
but
yeah,
you might
yeah. And so you're right. But is it? I mean, do hormones prevent heart attacks and death?
I couldn't answer that question. I would presume no, that they don't. But they're certainly when they're when we are, I'm going to use my terminology, which might not be correct, but when we're metabolically sound, we've got a better chance of getting through these, getting through life a whole lot more healthy.
Lower inflammation.
Lower inflammation. Yeah, it does come down to inflammation. Yeah,
lower
absolutely.
Inflammation.
Yeah.
It's metabolic. Okay, answer this question. Go ahead, Dr. Nelson. You want to hit that, Dr. Nelson?
Can you speak
or
about the
Ali.
link between
Go ahead,
Hashimoto's,
Alia.
rheumatoid arthritis, and menopause, carnivore, and Lugel's iodine?
The link between rheumatoid arthritis and
between Hashimoto's, coma, rheumatoid arthritis, and
Yeah.
menopause, carnivore, and Lugol's, iodine,
Mm,
multiple
mm,
things.
mm. Okay. Well, from what I'm seeing with the women that I'm working with, it's the carnivore phase that reduces all that inflammation. And with that, we obviously within the diet, we are, we are making sure that we eat the foods with the iodine and the selenium to balance that out.
What if it's not iodine?
Oh,
It's
tell me more.
goitrogens.
I need to go back to goitrogens. Yes, of course.
Goitrogen.
Yes, that
And
blocks the
everyone is
iodine.
like, oh, it's iodine. It is not.
No, it's the
It is the goitrogens that are the freaking problem. And where do goitrogens come from?
Yeah.
Plants or animals?
Yeah, plants. Yeah.
Plants.
Yeah.
Not carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Plants. You will die without carbohydrates in your diet. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You cannot live without carbohydrates.
That's why. Yeah. That's why my final phase is metabolic flexibility, which reintroduces the carbohydrates.
No. Carbohydrates are in meat.
Okay, right.
Look at this is the glycocalyx. The whole point is there is no metabolic flexibility. We burn only fat.
Yes.
You have no fat on your body or in your diet, you're effed. Fertilizer.
Yes. Yeah.
We've got the wrong message. That is it.
Yeah.
It's so crazy and simple.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
There are a few more questions. Let's see if we can take it up while we're.
Inflammation causes all disease, including menopausal symptoms and menopausal symptoms.
Leon.
Leon! Woo! Woohoo! Leon, you know what to do. Email me.
Yeah.
Again.
Dr. Kiltz, there's a quick question for you. BBBE S90. Dr. Kiltz, what are the top couple of books that help with mindset?
Well, the Bibles of the world are really good. But let's go with The Power of Now, the Bhagavad Gita. Let's see. Three Magic Words. Let's do The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Thoughts Are Things by Prentice Mulford. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Mind is the Master by James Allen. Let's see. Wayne Dyer, The Alchemist. Daily Inspirations by Kiltz. Living Your Best Life by Kiltz. And if you go to drkiltz.com,
yes,
we have a list of many of our books, and you can put your list of books. And one of my favorites is called The Christ-Based Teachings, which we're working to get it published because they won't let me publish it. And if you go to the Menopause Revival, who's the master of the universe? God is. And who is God? I am.
Andrea, if someone wants to get in touch with you, is this the place?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All the links are on there to the community.
Good. And you can also find her in Facebook and TikTok.
that was a very fast hour.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I've got more studies.
Again, if our vocabulary is wrong, we go down the wrong trail.
Yeah.
When we understand the power, and this is where eat meat 3 times a day, schlank comes in the 1940s. It was if you just eat more fatty meat, you'll be healthier than ever. You don't have to be a strict carnivore. But if you think in the carnivore lifestyle like a lion, oh my God, the world changes.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
Definitely.
The mind is the master of the universe.
5:30, Zoom call in the community. Have a good day.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.